to be a police officer and work at the police station. I want to be a teacher and work at a school. I want to be a firefighter and work at the fire station. I want to be a nurse and work at the hospital. I want to be a chef or a vet. I want to be a scientist. Can you tell me, what do you want to be?
A very good morning to all of us. Yes, I see this as a privilege to stand before you to share about the profession that is not really much is known about. When we go to the doctor, when we're not feeling well, usually the doctor maybe will prescribe some medication for us. At times we then go home after that with our parents with the medication, and then maybe we'll do well. But there are certain times maybe when we're really sick or the doctor needs extra information on what could be the problem. So they will then maybe order the nurses or whoever to collect blood or the different samples, body fluids. It can be your urine. As an example, they will order tests that need to be done. So we are the people who work behind the scenes, to say in a simple way. But we are an important aspect of the medical system. If we go to the books, they say that 70% of all the diagnosis or all the reasons that doctors can come up with that this person is sick with this, we will have provided the answers. If someone is sick, maybe for example, they say they've got diabetes, they'll need to have a blood sugar test, and that the results come from the lab. So to be able to be in this profession, you need to have a passion to help people. You need to have a passion for science. If I can remember well, when I was growing up, when I started doing, like when I was in my form 3 and 4, that's when I was now doing the biology and the chemistry. That's when I realized, no, this is my field. I really found it so much interesting, and I really wanted to pursue it more. So it wasn't much of a challenge because it's something that I really enjoyed. Even the maths, I also enjoyed it and pursued it further. And then why I chose to be a medical lab scientist, when I was now doing my A-level, I knew I wanted to be in the health field, in the medical field, as a scientist somehow. And when I visited this lab in Gweru, I really found it interesting what that scientist was doing. And then when it came to choosing the program to do or the profession to do, it just came easier for me to choose medical laboratory science. So what does the job entail? Like as I've said, it starts with the visitors. When you visit the doctor, they'll prescribe certain tests, and that's when we take over. So like what happens is that there are different core courses or branches of medical laboratory science. There is what is called immunology. When we talk about immunology, we're talking about the immune system, so there are tests that go in hand with that. There are tests that go on with the biological systems, the biochemical systems, pathways that are happening in our bodies. When you eat, what happens to the food? It's broken down to make certain molecules, to make, I don't know if I can find simple ways to explain, but all I can say is there's a lot of chemistry, a lot of biology happening inside of our bodies, and that has an impact on how we live, whether we're healthy or we are sick. So when somebody gets sick, there's a problem that will have happened. For example, for somebody who, the easier thing that I can explain is for someone with maybe with diabetes, their blood sugar levels will have gone up to high levels than unexpected. And so by getting tested, the doctor will then know how to control the condition. So what happens when the blood is collected, it then goes to the lab, and the lab scientists, they do their thing, what they're supposed to do. So there are different departments in a lab, and labs operate 24 hours. Even right now on a Sunday, labs are open. Of course, some for maybe emergency tests. When you are still maybe young in your career, sometimes you have to work during the night, you have to work even during the holidays. There is someone who's taking care of you. As what the doctor has said, to be in the medical field, you need to be passionate about helping people. You need also to have, like, in terms of laboratory science, you need an analytical mind. There are calculations that you do about reagents that you're going to use, about the tests. You need to really get down to be interested in what you're doing. And also, as we can see, science is growing. If we can see what is happening, the issue about COVID, you can't really confirm that someone has COVID until they've been tested. It's very interesting. When I was going through training during our first year, we were taught about the biological, the biochemistry processes, everything about the different body tissues. It was really interesting. When we then went into our second year, we were taken through about the different techniques that you use in testing for all the different fields that I mentioned earlier on. And then you also get the opportunity to be on attachment, to go and work alongside qualified medical laboratory scientists as you learn the different departments, if you get experience, so that when you finish, you'll be able, you have some experience, but you'll also be able to work confidently with the practical experience you'll have gained. And then in your final year, you undertake a research project where you choose a topic in any of the fields of interest. You then choose a research project that you undertake, and also you learn more of the disease conditions that you find, and also the disease conditions that you find, and also maybe the meaning of it, what it means when somebody is in this condition. So you learn the normal condition of the body, and then when it's in a disease state. So where do you get to do medical laboratory science? At the University of Zimbabwe and also Africa University. So your subjects, I think any two A-level sciences, maths, biology or chemistry, yeah, that mix. And also Africa University. What career options await for you? To start with, maybe you can start in the hospital. You can work for a government hospital. You also get to know of the health system in Zimbabwe, at our hospitals in Harare, in Bulawayo, and also you can become a research scientist. You can further your education after qualifying as a medical lab scientist. You can maybe do a research course. I specialized, I did clinical epidemiology. It's a research-based master's degree. You can also do molecular biology, about genetics, things like that. You can also go into the sales of medical reagents and equipment, and also marketing. We have organizations or companies that do that. We have got MedSure, MedRight, that distribute analyzers or machines that we use for testing. You can also go into forensic science, where you are where you are maybe helping in detection of or maybe detection of those people involved in crime. Infection control, you can become an infection control specialist, as we see that there are many conditions that need to be taken care of in hospitals. You can become an infection control specialist who tells people about the practices, what they're supposed to do to contain certain infections. You can also become a lab manager. You can own your own lab, or a quality assurance expert. As a medical lab scientist, medical laboratory scientist, we have certain standards that we abide to. Particularly, for example, ISO 15189, that is specific to our field. So you can become a laboratory mentor, making sure people, as they are doing their work, they abide to these, to quality control, so that we know that our results, one, they are accurate, two, they are also reliable. You can also be an entrepreneur. You can open your own lab, or you can be a vet lab scientist, working in the veterinary laboratory department. Okay, So there are many opportunities that await. You can work in Zimbabwe, you can work abroad as you undertake this field. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Just clap hands for her. I don't know if it's only me, but so you have seen what COVID looks like. I don't think that's the only thing that I got. Am I the only one? I know I could see it in your eyes, you wanted to ask, but I'll ask for you. So you know what, you saw what it looks like?
No, I have not seen what it looks like.
But your profession allows you to look at it.
To test it.
To test it, and
yes.
you know what it looks
and
like.
To verify that, yes, there's COVID here. Yes.
So you were one of the first people to see it and verify it.
That's a difficult question.
So can we say she's an investigator of diseases?
Yes.
Yes. So she's like a policeman of diseases, a policewoman of diseases. She's like a CID of diseases. So as you are walking up and down, she already knows that. So you already know. That's what you do.
No, I don't know.
You don't know.
We need to test.
So you must test. So
yes.
So the doctor is responding after you. So someone here may not want to be a doctor, but may want to be an investigator of diseases.
Yes.
So they can do that.
Yes, they can do that.
And if they are tired of doing it for free, they can open their own company to, not for free, but I mean, you know, for, yeah. So they can open their own company where they are testing other people. They can do that.
Yes, you can. When you qualify, you'll be able to get registered, and when you register, you also qualify to open your own private lab.
Oh, do we have any questions? Your daughter. This is going to be interesting. 3 people who have questions? Like 1, 2, 3. I know you're going to find a question somewhere. 1.
Is it possible for lab scientists to mix up the samples? And also, why do most diseases have to include blood tests, the injection?
Okay, I'll start with the first one. Is there a possibility to mix up? That is why I said you need to have an analytical mind. You need to pay attention to detail in whatever you're doing, because an error can be disastrous. It may result in a misinterpretation of the condition of a client. A client can be told that you are negative, but maybe they are positive and they need an intervention at that time. So that is why we really try our best to always be in a sober mind as we are working, so that our results, whatever we churn out, is accurate and reliable, and a correct representation of the condition of the patient.
Right, and the second question is, why do you have to take blood all the time?
For example, there are many of the biological systems or the biochemical systems that have their analytes found in blood. That's why we test mostly blood, but we can also test urine for other things.
So basically,
and also even tissues. For example, a piece of your flesh.
But mostly they like
it can be cut off.
So
yes,
diseases like to hang out and find time to rest in the blood. So when you extract them from there,
yes,
you can get them easily.
Yes, we separate and able to extract.
All right.
For the test that we want.
My question was, can you be like a normal doctor and then be a lab scientist doctor?
Are you saying they are abnormal?
I'm saying like other doctors are not lab doctors. So I'm saying, can you start as a doctor
and then end as a lab scientist?
Dr. Chenge.
We want to...
Yeah, you can. Yeah, maybe I've got someone in the podium. She can help us.
I think your children are masquerading as children because I think they've lived another life. Because some of these questions, right? Now we need 2 doctors in order for us to answer this question. So we have a question here for big people.
Okay.
So her question is, can you start off as a doctor and then end as a lab scientist?
Yes, you can. You just have. So what's interesting is that despite the fact that we work together literally every day as doctors and lab scientists, we have learned totally different things. There are things that we both, certain modules and courses that we do together, but then there are things that they do that I know nothing about and things that we did that she might know nothing about. I actually know a doctor who has done lab science and works out well. So if you want to, you can start with lab science and then do medicine, or do medicine and then decide, okay, I want to go into this. And
yeah. There are things that you can do that she can't do. There are things that she can do that you can't do. Yeah. Like a church member, there are things you can do, but you'll never be able to baptize. So you can read the Bible all you want, but you'll never be able to baptize.
Okay, but one thing I've learned in my career, in my profession, we work as a team for the benefit of you.
Well done. So
whether I'm a nurse, whether it's a dentist, whether it's a psychiatrist, it's all for your benefit.
So all these are just one team. We're just choosing our portion that we like.
Yes.
But it's one team.
Yes.
All right? And there was another answer. Oh, yes? What's the answer?
I don't think you answered yet. I understand your question. Can you practice two simultaneous at the same time? Can you be a doctor and a lab scientist? You follow? Maybe you needed to relate back to it and say,
can you be a medical doctor testing?
Because you ended up interpreting a question in your own way. That's how I got it. Maybe you need to ask her whether she's answered.
Are you answered?
Are you answered?
She's answered.
Are you answered or you are like, no, I can't anymore? Well done. Thank you so much. Yes?
I'm not a biotechnics.
Bio what?
Techniques.
Biotechniques. What are biotechniques?
Biotechniques in the medical field.
Biotechniques?
Yeah, because like we have different scientists. We have different scientists. So there are some that are particular to the medical lab and some that can work in other labs, in clinical, in maybe chemistry labs. Yes. So
those are biotechnicians or those are biotechniques?
Did you refer to the technique or the technician? The person?
Technician.
The person?
The person.
Okay. If they are a biotechnician, it means they will need to specialize into medical. If they want to be a medical laboratory scientist, they will need to do that. There are some people maybe who have done biological science, or maybe we've done biotechnology, but it's not specific to the medical field.
Oh.
Yes.
So they can do other things, biogas and all those things are still technical.
Yes, or work maybe in companies like Delta and Chibuku and that kind of thing. Delta.
Yeah.
And Dairy Board.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I think that was made clear. Let's clap hands for her.
I want to be a police officer and work at the police station. I want to be a teacher and work at a school. I want to be a firefighter and work at the fire station. I want to be a nurse and work at the hospital. I want to be a chef or a vet. I want to be a scientist. Can you tell me, what do you want to be? 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 Can you tell me? A chef, a teacher, a firefighter, a scientist or an astronaut, a police officer, a doctor or a nurse. What do you want to be? Oh, what do you want to be? I want to be a doctor and help people every day. I want to be an astronaut and fly my rocket into space.